But why is I have to be pretty if you smash? Like I have a lot more than just
what would you do if you didn't have a vagina? How would you keep a guy around?
What that mouth do?
All you want is vagina. Why? Why you talk about this so much?
Okay, so she knows. What about you? What would you do if you lost your vagina? How would you keep your husband?
A bunch of acts of service, cook for him, pet for him. There's a lot of value that we have. So I wanted to say something about your. Okay, so I wanted to say something to your point that you said about you don't have to spend a lot of money, and if the girl really likes you, she will want to have sex with you, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying about the emotional needs. So he can be paying for all your bills and whatever it is, but if that emotional connection isn't there, you don't want to have sex with him. So a lot of time I feel like men forget that for us, like there is a deeper connection that is needed. So what do you want? Do you want your wife to have sex with you without her enjoying it? You want your wife to be wet, like for lack of a better words. You want her to enjoy it. You want her to enjoy it with you. And yes, sometimes she might not enjoy it and she do it because she loves you, right? But if she's doing it out, even though she doesn't feel it, it's because you're fulfilling her emotional needs.
But you know what? My emotions are really down. I'm not paying the bills this month.
Yeah. But no, you just said it. Sometimes you don't really feel it, but out of duty for your husband, you're going to do it. And you read the verse Corinthians.
If I feel that I'm loved, right?
Yeah, but once again,
I don't feel like I'm loved. I'm not paying the mortgage this month.
You're going to do it.
I feel the love.
Because you love your man. Even when you're tired, when you don't feel like doing it.
I don't feel the love, man.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it. So I'm just not gonna pay the bills this month. Can you cover it?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Cool.
All right.
She you won't pay the bills and she doesn't have a vagina?
Yeah.
Damn, bro, she is fucked, bro.
Yeah,
that is terrible.
Like, yeah, man. I'm just the problem is that right whenever women say I need to feel an emotion and blah blah blah, like the issue with that is that emotions change minute to minute based on your period, etc. Women are emotionally erratic. They're never consistent every single day. Their moods always change. So you're telling me that I need to go ahead and base one of the cornerstones of my happiness, sexual fulfillment, on how you feel? That's crazy to me.
Wow.
Because guess what? Your security isn't contingent upon how I feel. If someone breaks into the house, no matter how I feel, I got to protect you. If we need to go ahead and pay a bill, it doesn't matter how I feel, I got to fucking pay for it. If I'm the man and I'm supposed to be the man of the house and the leader, it doesn't matter how the fuck I feel. I fulfill my duty. But women, on the other hand, want to feel like they don't have to do their duty. And that's where I'm saying I'm calling bullshit on that. It's not a fair trade. Why is it that I have to be a man at all times, but you can pick and choose when you want to be my wife? That's bullshit. If you're going to play that game, cool. I'm going to have 5 other bitches. That's how we're going to do it.
And I get what you're saying regarding emotional connection and it being something.
Fuck emotions.
No, hold on. I'll go somewhere with this. However, that means every time we argue or get upset, you don't want to fuck me, which is fucked up because then that means you're contingent upon how you feel, which means it won't happen a lot. So is that really dutiful to your husband?
Right. So
or how you feel about it?
So the relationships are such a big work that you need to have a set of rules, right? So maybe, and that's really up to each relationship, you know, like. But it's for real. The thing is, I don't think people that don't have a long-lasting relationship can talk about a long-lasting relationship, right? Because they haven't had it. So how can, for example,
3 months?
3 years.
You just got married.
3 months.
But we've been together for 3 years.
3 months.
That's barely
3 years.
anything, man. That's barely.
3 months.
Okay,
All right, go ahead.
3 years, right? So in order for me, even though to get to those 3 months being married and to get to being married, there was a lot of work that needed to be done because it's just how can we just put like things as just black and white when even you guys, Myron, you're saying that, oh, well, maybe I'm not feeling like I want to pay the bills today, right?
Yeah.
So what about you making just if she's feeling safe and she's feeling that sometimes like you're listening to her constantly and maybe the relationship is not going to be perfect, right? But if overall you're fulfilling your needs and she's fulfilling her needs too, the relationship is a success, right? That's it. You cannot put things black or white and then she just doesn't have sex with you, kick it to the curb. If she's using sex as a weapon, definitely get a divorce. Don't be with her. Don't be with her.
See, what you're missing though is that men are very simple and our needs are typically pretty much black and white.
True.
But you keep going back to your needs. I'm telling you, men's needs in general are fairly black and white. We're very simple across different socioeconomic classes, whatever. Men are very simple. You keep looking at things through a female lens. How I feel.
And you keep looking at things from a masculine lens. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
So how can we talking about all these problems, but we're not talking about the
we should look at it from the male. Hold on, we should look at it from the male lens because the men are the ones giving relationships out. So it probably behooves you to understand what men want because we already know what the fuck women want. You guys make that very apparent in all your music and popular culture. We know what women want, but we don't necessarily know what men want. And I would argue most women don't care what men want. I'm telling you, men are very simple. What we want is typically linear. It is black and white. You're the one that's complicating it. I don't know if I feel this way today and blah, blah, blah. I'm saying men don't have that privilege of saying, I don't feel like it. You have to be a man at all times. And you guys want to go ahead and pick and choose when you want to be a dutiful wife. And I'm saying that's cool. I'm not arguing for you guys not being able to exercise things on your prerogative. That's fine. But what I am saying is that men need to put consequences on that shit. You don't want to fuck? Fantastic. You're effectively single now.
But you're talking about just one time? Like,
right. Can you be more specific?
Because here's the thing. When your girl isn't fucking you, 9 out of 10 times, it's like a long-term thing. It's a drought, right? She just isn't feeling you and she just withholds sex from you or she uses it as a weapon for some type of behavior.
Yeah.
Once a woman weaponizes sex against you, it's a wrap.
done. Is it disrespect?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what most women do. They weaponize sex. And I'm just telling guys not to tolerate that shit.
To make it clear, though, once or twice when it's not back to back is fine because obviously
okay, yeah. Thanks for clarifying.
We're talking about a long period of time. Let's say 3 weeks, for example.
Okay, that's
y'all is the same thing as weaponizing.
That's the only thing.
It's the same thing as weaponizing financial support. If you're weaponizing it, and I feel like I can pay the bills today, but not tomorrow, you're also like being abusive.
But how did it start though?
But how did it start for her?
Women typically weaponize sex first.
Yep.
But why?
How do you feel?
So the thing. So okay. So you guys been saying, "Oh,
it
we're
doesn't
really
matter
simple."
why. That's like me saying, "I don't want to pay the bills."
No,
do you give a fuck why
matter.
I'm saying
it does
why?
matter. Myron, you bring it up a lot that it is like 70% of divorces are started by women.
Yes.
Right.
Like 80%.
Right. Exactly. So did you know that 85% of women initiate counseling? So we're a lot.
Right.
So
most people don't go to counseling. Like not even 10% of couples go to counseling.
Which is really sad because we haven't been taught as human beings to be in a healthy relationship.
Okay.
And not only that, going to counseling, they do it in bad faith. They go to counseling because they know that it'll allow them to get a better.
Not necessarily.
They can say, "Oh, I need to initiate this divorce because we tried counseling, it didn't work."
Yeah.
No, because so did you get a mentor maybe for real estate or something like that at any point? Maybe for business or something?
No, I pretty much did the real estate myself.
Okay, that's great. Kudos to you. But in general, if you can get a mentor in any type of thing, your chances of being successful are going to be higher, right? So that's one of the things that I think, and people don't really talk about it, that people go to counseling when it's too late. And I've been reading, I read a lot about relationships and human biology and the brain and psychology because I really want to have great relationships, not just with my husband, but with everyone around me. And like you were saying, men are really simple. Actually, no. Like,
yeah, they moody too. They get a little moody too.
The reasons why we get moody are very, very binary. Like you can understand, we are hungry. We stubbed our toe. We lost a job. It is not like I didn't have a random feeling of panic because I was driving home at some point and a fucking song came on. That's not how it works. It's not complicated. Do you have an example of how men are complicated?
Well, it's just we all are emotional beings, and I
but what ours are not difficult to discern. I tell this to every girl that I meet. I'm like, hey, they're like, are you mad at me? I'm like, I will tell you I'm mad at you when I'm mad at you. You will never ever have to fucking worry. I promise you, it'll never be a mystery. But yeah, I will tell you if I'm upset. Okay, I don't think, especially alpha men, I don't think that they're complicated at all. Do you think they are?
I think certain men to a certain degree. Some of them you could have been, like you said, in a relationship. You said 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you said, "Oh, I'll kick you to the curb or something. I'm not going to pay the bill for 3 weeks." All right, if you don't want to have sex, right?
I would just be like, "Hey, let's just not see each other anymore."
I'm just using your logic and because y'all are saying we should be able to withhold sex whenever we want. I'm like, okay, well, I should be able to withhold provisioning whenever I want.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that we should be able to withhold sex anytime. Nobody said that.
A woman shouldn't have to have sex on your terms. Like it's a mutual agreement. That's what we said.
Yes, you are under zero obligation to fuck the guy.
It's a mutual agreement. Like she said, do you want your woman to enjoy it or you want her to lay there and not have a good time just because you want to get a nut off?
And
like
he said, he said he doesn't enjoy paying bills.
Yeah.
But he still does it in the first place.
Like, bro, like, see, the thing is, again, like when, this is what I always do. I love to use female logic back on them, and then you guys realize how ridiculous it sounds, and then you're like, but wait, no, hold on, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, if you have the ability to pick and choose when you want to get laid, which is cool, fine. I should have the ability to pick and choose when I want to be a man and pay the bills and take care of you.
I
When
think
you
what
say
we're
that
saying
statement,
is
you're
that
making it black or white.
I think what we're trying to say is that we're not saying that we don't want to have sex with you at all or whatever like that.
Exactly.
Remember, it's life. Things go through things. We have menstruals. People die. We have all of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That goes on. So I'm just keeping it real.
All right, well,
Like,
that's
just keeping it
true.
real.
Yeah,
I'm keeping it real. Like, let's so for you to say you don't want to pay bills because you don't want to pay a bill because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't have sex with you.
My mom died,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? So
No. I'm going through it too. But here's the other thing.
Yeah.
You want to play that? You know,
no, I'm
that
not.
sympathy
I'm
game.
just no.
Because
I'm
you're
just
talking about like, hey, you go through stuff, menstrual cycle, blah blah blah. A man's life is way harder than a woman's life. Way harder.
Yeah, Myron, but you don't have these these emotional hormonal cycles going inside of you. Like you don't
Actually-
know what it is to be
Actually,
differently.
Men get periods too, by the way. Tell us about you guys.
I have a hormonal cycle.
No,
Just saying.
you different hormonal cycle.
I'm pretty good.
You guys have a 24-hour hormonal cycle. Your guys move on testosterone, right? Your balls are not sleeping. Your balls are constantly
Fully
producing
awake.
testosterone, right?
Fully awake,
But,
yeah.
but,
Chris, can you check on
but
that
no,
for me?
okay,
Wait,
go
what?
ahead. Check it.
They're not sleeping.
No. So, but on the contrary,
go ahead.
a woman's hormonal cycle, it's 28 days, and I've had to do a lot of internal work for when I have my period or before my period, then I feel like I'm going crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
But that's
So
not the
I'm
point.
like,
We're talking
okay,
about
I'm not
3
gonna-
weeks.
yeah.
We're talking about
Right.
3 weeks and no actual explanation. You just decide to not have sex with
No,
someone.
that's-
I think
that's
it's a
abuse.
horrible warning sign.
It
Now,
is.
going back to what you said before, why are men complicated like women?
No,
do not
I didn't
understand this
say
at all.
that. I didn't say that.
Okay,
I
so
said
anybody else think men are complicated? Because if you
Not
think men are complicated, I'm
deep.
telling you,
We're
you're
deep.
just fucking a dude who's lying to
No.
you. That's what's going
Yeah.
on. Men
We're
are not
deep.
complicated.
We're deep. What I wanted to say is we're deep human beings. Men or women, we're deep human beings that we go through emotional things that most of us have some kind of emotional trauma because of our parents or because of our environment.
I agree.
Right. So that's what I mean.
Emotional.
Damn
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. But men experience way more trauma. Men experience a way harder life than women do. So if we want to play the sympathy game of who has a harder experience, men absolutely have a harder experience than women, especially in the modern day age. So you know what? Let me not pay the bills because I'm going through trauma.
No.
Wow.
So
You're weaponizing
You can't win
it.
this, bro.
You're
You guys,
weaponizing
look,
it.
ladies. See, here's the thing. Women lack logically sound skills, debating things in logic, right? I'm just using your same arguments and the functional equivalent back on you, and you guys don't know how to respond because you want to be able to hold all the leverage and pick and choose when the guy fucks and all this. I want to go off how I feel, blah, blah, blah. But if I use your excuse for me not being a man, y'all will look at me like I'm crazy.
No, if you're going through trauma, like if you have a good woman, she should be able to cover the bills if you don't feel like if you can't pay them for some
Really?
reason. It's a
How long
relationship.
is that going to last?
How long?
How long are you finna be in your feelings? Like
maybe I might need
Any human being has the responsibility of getting themselves out of the dark spot. Because
all I'm saying
a woman or a man
is that every
not
excuse that y'all
healthy.
have doesn't work because men live harder lives than women, so a nice try. Men have more burden of performance than women, so a nice try. Men have to bring way more to the table than a woman does, nice try. Men have to add more value than a woman does to be in a relationship in the first place, nice try. So all y'all have to do is fuck. And if you don't do that, you're effectively
But
useless.
Myron, you cannot talk about like completely remove the value of a woman like that. Like the fact that
Yeah,
yes,
Myron.
I agree 100% that you guys go through hard
I'm not removing the
things.
value. I'm saying
So
that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So if you're saying that if you're saying that like you're sorry,
Yeah.
I got stuck.
Yeah,
No
okay,
one's stopping
okay.
you. Were waiting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Computer lag. Freeze.
Listen.
Hilarious.
So what if
I
you're
need a
I
stream
agree
deck in my
I agree
house, dude.
I agree with I remember what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
I agree with the fact that men have harder lives, but you cannot just say like, oh, just because I have a harder life than you, then your trauma is not valid. Like it doesn't work like that. So
Okay,
because I have
you're-
a better
you're-
life than someone in
Your trauma can be valid, but at some point, I've met girls before. I'm like, wow, this girl's great. And then the trauma comes out and it's like, hey, I don't hate you. You're not a useless person, but we don't need to be in a fucking relationship. So you go that way and I go this way. because I have the freedom to do that, and there's nothing wrong with it. Again, I'm going back to the Jonah Hill thing. Jonah Hill said, "You're doing things I don't like, and I don't want to be with you anymore." And everyone was like, "How dare you tell this woman to not dress like that?" It was ridiculous. So no, he has the right to do that. By the way, if the Jonah Hill thing is bad, does that not make every single Muslim man a problem? Every traditional Muslim man would ask the same thing from his woman. Am I wrong? And I'm saying this as a Christian. I'm saying this as a Christian. Is that not correct? That was always just very confusing to me. Like that means that's the problem. We have the right to leave if we want. Does that make sense?
I agree.
You have the right to have your trauma.
Anyone,
You have the
yes.
right to have your trauma, and I have the right to leave. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. That's why communication is key. You keep it honest in the beginning, but a lot of us don't do that. We lead people on. That's why we go down the path that we are, like Myron said. That's why,
It's easier to leave than to work on
every
it.
single syllable.
Women don't want honesty though.
It hurts. It hurts. It definitely
Women don't
hurts.
really want honesty.
I am learning
I know
that
you're saying
more and more every
communication,
day.
but women
Yeah.
don't want the truth.
Yeah, I learn that more and more every day, dude. That is
So, and
absolutely
That's why
true.
niggas lie, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can hear every syllable.
And that's why the shit keep recycling itself. That right there, everyone's lying to each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn.
And
like,
in modern society,
I think women lie way more than men do though.
Yeah, facts.
I just,
You disagree? You want to date with a nigga that spent $1,300 at Komodo, and you didn't tell him I'm not gonna fuck you before the date.
Well, it's called giving a person a chance, seeing if we have chemistry
So
first,
was there
right?
any
Give them a
chance? There
chance.
was a
Some
chance.
girls just ghost and don't give a damn about you. At least
was there a chance? Was there a chance before?
Yes, for him to spend $1,300.
There was a no, you felt like
Hell,
there
I
was a
didn't know the
chance.
bill was going to be $1,300.
Women lie, men buy, literally.
Oh wait,
I think it's both love.
Wait, hold on.
Everything. Hold on. No, I'm just gonna say this shit. Everything about the female existence is a lie. Makeup. We don't know when you're on your period. We don't know when you're in heat. We don't know if you're pregnant or not. Everything about the female mystique is about fucking lying.
Hey,
wearing extensions, wearing nails, not showing interest in a guy, going out with guys that you don't give a fuck about because you're trying to get a free dinner, whatever. Like everything about the female existence is a lie to a degree. Women
Mark.
have to be deceptive in a lot of their practices because women are the inferior sex physically. So what do they have to do? They have to be the superior sex mentally and cognitively. So they have to use deception to attract the opposite gender and retain the opposite gender because you guys don't have the strength to beat us physically. So women connive a lot of guys. If I took 100 women, I guarantee 90 of them have probably been on dates and finessed a dude out of that date. However, if I line up 100 dudes, maybe 10 of them had been able to finesse a woman. Men are not able to connive women to the same degree that women connive men. And that's because the whole female psyche is centered around deception. Everything about y'all is deceptive. Makeup, lashes, heels, tight dresses, the surgeries, etc. Boobs. Being on your period. We might not know it. Being in heat. Everything about female the female psychology is deceptive to a degree. Going on dates with niggas y'all don't like. Like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
So
Who
that
does that?
deception could probably attract
Oh my
somebody, but it's not
God.
gonna keep anybody.
Yeah, I don't think you guys care. I think they just want to hit.